Alright, hello. Have been very inactive in YouTube, and that is probably because, just like every other content creator I've seen, I have pretty much nothing to do in this game. We haven't had a big Warframe update for 3 months now. The Loader's Eaters update, I'm not even sure why it's called an update. The quest is not really a quest or anything. And generally, it's just, it's been very, very boring. You've seen people run out of ideas. Every other video that I've seen about Warframe, almost all of them have been pointless. There are some really good gems out there if you search, very nice. Some really good Limbo guides, some really good Wisp guides, some really interesting videos happening, but overall, most of us have just lost the. We have lost the fight. Let's just say that. And we're all patiently waiting for the Game Awards, which is gonna happen the same day that this video is gonna go out, which is really nice. I am hoping that we're gonna have a really good update. I really hope Kume and the Five Fates will add a lot of new stuff and they will expand on missions that might already even exist in this game, like Mirror Defense and Ascension. I think Ascension being one mission in the entire Star Chat is absolutely criminal and needs to be addressed. And overall, I just really, really want to see that we get something brand new. Now, because I know there has been quite an influx of new players into the game, with Mactic streaming this game to the Destiny followers that have been slowly but surely starting this game and giving this game a try, there is a lot of new player and new blood into this game. And to all these new players and to all of you guys, because, normally I don't really do any videos for new players, this is gonna be dedicated to you. This is what I did when I was new to the game and when I just unlocked Stillpath. The primary arcanes were just released, nobody had them. The galvanized modes didn't exist, nobody had galvanized modes, and we were just in Stillpath, spamming melee weapons, doing everything. So, Stillpath back then was actually pretty difficult, and most of your weapons wouldn't do anything to them. And my weapons, I didn't use the Comorex, I didn't use the Stalta back then, I didn't know about those weapons, and I didn't really do damage. So, my way of going through the Stillpath star chart back then was this. I would take a Falcor, I would take Wisp, and I would do what I say, the Wisp jump attack combo. So before, we're gonna ignore the build now, and we're gonna ignore Zero Assassin, one of my viewers. Sorry, my friend, welcome to the video, but I will not answer your question right now. I will simply showcase what I need to showcase. But yes, I have tried Color or Siam, and they are both pretty amazing. So, what is this playstyle? What is the Wisp jump attack playstyle? Basically, if we add the attacks with buff and we use a glaive, the glaives have this attack that it hits everything in front of us, behind us, and on the side. So, as you see, it hits that thing over there, the crate, even though it's behind me. So the animation hitting things behind you is not just the animation, it's actually happening, which is really nice. And since when you're in the air, people are unaware of you, you have what we call stealth multipliers. And stealth multipliers make it so that your first hit is always a crit, and the crit itself is amplified by an extra 700% critical multiplier flat. So this is a plus 7.0 to whatever crit multiplier you have. So if your weapon has, like, let's say 2 crit multiplier, it goes up to 9. It had 7 going crit if it has a 7.0 crit multiplier, it goes up to 16, and you just do that. So my build back in the day was this, without melee animosity, obviously, but it consisted of pretty much straight damage and this Riven mod, critical damage to amplify the stealth multiplier even further, and one attack was relatively enough to deal with most of the enemies. Now, there were stuff that you could do. You could go condition overload instead of one of the Crit modes Gladiator might, in my case, where if I wanted to go for higher level content, I would find that Condition Overload was better. But we're not going to focus on the Falcor because this was old tech. The Falcor was used because back in the day, there was a bug with all the other glaives, and the jump attack of the other glaives would not benefit from the attack speed. Also, one mod that I forgot to mention, Modus Impact is essential into this build. Increase range of aerial melee attacks by plus 2 meters because glaives, if you're unaware, have a horrible range of 1.3 meters. So by using Primed Reach and Modus Impact, you go from 1.3 meters to 6.3 meters on your aerial attacks. A essentially 12 meter radius, a 6 meter spin attack. A spin to win mechanic, kinda, while you're invisible and deal critical damage. So out of all the glaives work now. All of the glaives are good now. But by far the strongest blade, now that this mechanic has been patched and all of them gain attack speed normally, is the Pathosist. And why is it the Pathosist? It has by far the highest base damage out of all the glaives. It has 2.1 crit multiplier on its normal attacks, and it has innate viral damage. So you can freely build Corrosive and still get viral procs in, which is absolutely insane because viral procs will increase your damage to enemies' health by 100%. So we're gonna take this Pathosist, we're gonna remove everything that has to do with the Riven mod or everything that a new player doesn't have the luxury of having, like a maxed out Prime Pressure Point or a maxed out Prime Fever Strike. We will return to Monkey and the maxed out Prime Reach. The maxed out Prime Reach hurts. I would prefer having it, but for the sake of the video, I will do it like this. So, basically, picture yourself, new player, just got into Steelpath, doesn't have Prime modes, doesn't have Galvanize modes, doesn't have Prime Hurricanes, doesn't have Melee Hurricanes, you have nothing. This build is so powerful that you do not need the Vitality mode at all. And why is that? Because, obviously, the Vitality mode is needed if you get hit. With this build, we're constantly visible. And the best part you can do is you can add Wrathful Advance or Eclipse, depending on which you prefer, to amplify the damage of this even more. Now, obviously, Wrathful Advance is going to be way better, as you can see, but Eclipse makes it way stronger. So we're going to head... no, sorry. Wrathful Advance is way stronger, but Eclipse is also a good choice. My bad. I misspoke. Regardless, the build itself, as you can see, is pretty robust. Even without any Prime mode, as long as you have Wrathful Advance, these guys are easily one-shottable. Even the Eximus units die very, very quickly, which is quite nice. Speaking of Eximus units, this one behind me. And so pretty good showcase as well. Real lucky that I got the faction to actually invade me while in the mission. This still has a 4.7 meter radius, or yeah, 4.8, my bad, on the aerial attacks. So this is still pretty decent to run like this. And it does hurt quite a bit for pretty much no effort. This is essentially a no effort build. You can easily bring this and make this, anyone can make this as long as they have the Pathosist. The Pathosist itself, it can be farmable from the Zealoid Prelate on Deimos, or you can simply trade the parts of the weapon for Platinum. And we will also go to a better build up next to show what a full maxed out Pathosist with this setup will look like. Because I'm sure people will want to see that as well. But as you can see, as a new player, if you try this, this is even without Wrathful Advance, look at this. It takes you more hits, yes, of course. Makes sense. But as you can see, since you can be hit, you're simply in no danger at all just pressing spacebar one time and then pressing EE. The gameplay is super simple. And the best part about it is that this does so much damage because of the ability for the melee weapons to actually trigger headshot damage. So if you are on head level of the enemies, besides the extra 700% damage, you also trigger headshot damage. I know. Overall, when we max out the build, we will just be able to walk through the mission, bullet jump through the mission, and then just hit the enemies while bullet jumping, like this. Which is still pretty viable, as long as there are no Eximus enemies. Because obviously, let's be honest, with a build without any prime modes, dealing with Eximus enemies like this and this easily is still really nice. So, 3 minutes 40 seconds for such a basic build, for such a build that you can put in 2 minutes and you can make super simply, not much format advancement, probably 2 format is enough to get you a similar build to this, and if it's not, then you know, you simply remove Shocking Touch, or where is it? Oh, this was... oh no, this is correct, okay. Pressure point is here, yeah, this is correct, okay. So, you know, this is still really, really strong, even without any prime modes or anything. Now, we're going to take this to the max. We're going to add our prime modes back. We're going to add a Riven mod. This is just what I managed to get. This is not the best Riven mod you can get, obviously. You can get something way, way, way stronger. But we'll have to work with what God and the Gamba giveth us. So... I mean, yeah. But now this is where it gets interesting. So, I know it's pretty hard to get Melee Crescendo. No, sorry, Melee Duplicate, not Melee Crescendo. As you can see, I don't have Melee Duplicates either. A maxed rank Melee Duplicate, if you use Eclipse, is absolutely insane. Because the critical hits you get from the stealth multiplier are considered base critical hits. So you deal double damage of whatever you deal every hit. And with Eclipse, a 1 million damage per hit is very easy to achieve. Doubling that to 2 million is a big step in the right direction. Now, because we don't have this, we're gonna go with the Wrathful Advance and Mellow Animosity. This also gives us the ability to even throw the Path Assist if we ever want to do extra damage with an explosion, which is, you know, quite funny. So, finished product, kinda. Can add something like Dispatch Overdrive here. I don't know what I would add, to be honest, because nothing really works. Maybe Whirlwind, but we don't use any of this. I would unironically think of Parry, because there is nothing that I'm using here. Guardian's Derision, I don't know. It's just, there is nothing. So, yeah. Melee secondary weapons, you just need to have Dexterity Arcanes for the combo duration. Everything else doesn't matter. And we're gonna go right next to the mission on Lua, to the highest level mission in the game, and see how this does and how it performs. So let's see. We'll go to good old Grandpa here. 1.9 million, 1.4 million. Pretty one-shot territory with Wrathful. That first hit dealing 1.2 million, second hit dealing like 30k. Now, the challenge for me will be that I will not use any kind of Vitality mode. I will just use the Attack Speed mode, and that's gonna be it. Because, as I said, we don't need it. It's not useless or anything, but I mean, we're not taking damage, are we? We're constantly visible. Enemies cannot see us throughout the time that we're doing this. And this is very, very low effort gameplay that anybody can really do. And this is how I essentially run Silpa. And back then, I had pre-nerfed Eclipse, yes, but I would argue that in today's era where Melee Duplicate exists and then we have this type of tech with Wrathful Advance, it's probably way, way stronger. So 12 million on the throw itself, using Melee Animosity. Pretty good. $4 million there. So it really is such a luxury that the glaives actually hit everything around you, because you can play with the minimap after that. You don't even need to look at the screen. You can just look at the minimap and see people dying, and then you know what direction to go for and what to aim for. Yeah. We're gonna play this for 5 minutes to get the Acolyte, so you can see how fast this kills an Acolyte as well. %527% Wrathful Advance, if you're wondering what the number is and you can't read it in the footage. It should probably be readable, but just in case. And we're seeing some really decent numbers for what we're doing. Kill per minute is on a bit over 100, if you're wondering. We're now crossing 3 minutes and we are at 320. So with a bit more focused gameplay and a better navigation of enemies, maybe better tileset, you can probably reach 120 on this, which is more than enough. Not quite Nami solo and melee influence type shit, but it is pretty good. I don't know, you want to call this Blade, you want to call this a blender, I don't know what you want to call it, but it goes crazy. That's all I can tell you. It just goes crazy. So I'm gonna try, I guess, to get a better Pathos Riven. Because, yeah, I wanna return to the old days of me doing this and absolutely destroying everything. I got a Kalvat debuff, so it nerfs my Wrathful Advance, which is kind of a shame, but thankfully Acolyte is a good fella to ignore me. Not for the longest time. The Acolytes are here. Sentinels are also here. Kalvat debuff running out. Alright. Now Violence dies in literally 2 swings from this. So you can really see that the damage this deals is not bad at all. This isn't something that is very used, and nobody would really think to use a glaive like this. I wouldn't blame them. Obviously, nobody would want to use a glaive like this. Are you serious, man? I thought you died. I'm gonna be honest. I went to Operator and I lost myself. I thought you died. Anyways. Doesn't matter. Mistakes happen. We're humans. Very good setup. Very good strategy. Very brain dead strategy. And anybody using this can easily do the entire game by just jump attacking. Spacey, 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 and it's GG. Everything that is 6 meters from you onto any direction gets hit because of this. So yeah, as I said, any glaive works. Pathos is the best glaive. I used to do this with a Falcor because there was a bug with the other glaives. And honestly, you can reach some ridiculous high damage numbers with this with pretty much zero effort put into your build. And even max out build doesn't require that big of an investment and can be made in quite literally 10 minutes if you have the resources. So, thank you very much for watching. Discord and Twitch links in the description, and I will see you on the next video.